With population growth being at an all-time high, it shouldn't surprise you to hear that the fishing industry is really raking it in at the moment. And while the United States is far from the largest fishing sector in the world, our American brothers and sisters definitely play their part. That being said, which are the wealthiest US-based fishing businesses, and what do they actually bring in? For all this and more, stay tuned. Number 1, first up we have Thai Union North America, which is the wealthiest of the bunch. For those of you who don't know, Thai Union North America has its headquarters based in El Segundo, California, and is responsible for more than a few brands that have become commonplace in the modern era. These include, but are not limited to, Chicken of the Sea International, Chicken of the Sea Frozen Foods, and of course, US Pet Nutrition. With incredible brand recognition, Thai Union North America has been able to secure itself as the largest supplier of seafood in the territory, which has undoubtedly led it to becoming the wealthiest fishing business in the sector. Although sales figures aren't reported as much as we'd like them to be, we know that the company brought in a total of around $1.28 million back in 2015, with this amount then increasing to $1.2 billion in the year after. But as you can imagine, it's not just fishing ability that has resulted in its immaculate branding record. Thai Union North America has also received a number of awards of the years because of its incredible quality and lack of controversy. The company has also recently walked away with the Gold Award for Excellence in Corporate and Social Responsibility Strategy. In the modern era where consumers are caring more and more about the environment, this is something to be remembered. Suffice to say, it's through its many years of quality assurance and outstanding ethics that Thai Union North America has secured itself the top position on our list. Number 2, next up we have Tri-Marine, which is one of the largest tuna manufacturers around. If you're a fan of tuna, there's no doubt that you've heard of Tri-Marine International, which has its headquarters situated in Bellevue, Washington. The North American Fishing Company has more than 5,000 employees at its beck and call, which makes sense considering how it's one of the largest tuna companies in the world. These employees have been spread across a number of sectors, which truly shows just how in-depth the business goes when it comes to the fishing process. Not only are these employees actually involved in the fishing of tuna from the ocean, they can also be found in the processing, trading, and distribution of tuna throughout the entirety of the United States. When it comes to branding, Tri-Marine International have held on to the original brands of Ocean Naturals and Choice Landing since the inception of the company. And since these can be found in supermarkets all across the nation, it's really no surprise that the company was able to bring in $1 billion back in 2015 and a $1.1 billion the following year. The company also supplies tuna to a number of other brands that are internationally recognized, a testament to just how much fishing the company does on an everyday basis. In total, Tri-Marine International operates 14 purse signers and processing parts across the world, with some even being found in faraway places like Mauritius and the Solomon Islands. Suffice to say, its reach is further than North America. Number 3, and then we have Maruha Nichiro, which is a real international affair. Although the Maruha Nichiro Corporation is quite high on the list of wealthiest American fishing businesses, it's the international reach of the corporation that truly makes it such a massive contender on the scene. Many estimate Maruha Nichiro to be the largest seafood company in the world after all, with a global reach that is simply too large to list. The largest regions served by the company include, but are of course not limited to, North America and Japan. As such, the corporation has 2 head offices. One can be found in Tokyo, which overlooks the functioning of the business in Japan, while the other can be found in Seattle, Washington, and overlooks the business taking place in North America. The company also has a pretty long and complicated history involving Alaska fisheries, and actually has subsidiaries that will be a lot more recognizable than its blanket name. These include Westward Seafoods, Premier Pacific Seafoods, Alyeska Seafood, and Peter Pan Seafoods, all of which are also based in Seattle. The company also has a leg in Belling, Yankton, Washington, through its attachment to Transocean Products. Suffice to say, this is quite a lot of business, so it shouldn't surprise you to hear that the Maruha Nichiro Corporation was able to bring in a total number of sales reflecting around $973.5 million back in 2015, and although the company hit a bit of a wall in the following year, it still managed to bring in approximately $911.4 million. Number 4, another company that has seen a slight decrease in wealth is Bumblebee Seafoods. But in spite of its latest fall in sale values, the company remains the 4th biggest fishing business in the region of North America. The company has its headquarters based in San Diego, California, and is actually owned in part by the United Kingdom-based corporation known as Lion Capital. What really sets Bumblebee Seafoods apart from the other businesses on this list is the fact that the company has a variety of items on offer with the intention of making the consumption of seafood a lot easier in the long run. In fact, the mission statement of the company says that we love seafood so much that we're on a crusade to make the tuna melt the go-to instead of the drive-thru. A pretty big task, but something that the company has made easier by producing a full line of canned and poached tuna, sardines, and salmon. Bumblebee Seafoods also offers a number of specialty seafood products that are marketed in both the United States and Canada. These include, but are not limited to, seasoning packets, seafood snack kits, ready-to-eat meals, and of course, cracker packets. With a variety like this, the corporation was able to secure a 2015 sales target of $1 billion. And while this amount went on to fall in the following year, Bumblebee Seafoods still made an impressive $900 million in sales. Not at all bad considering the changes that were going on at the time. Number 5, next we have Nippon Suisan USA, also known as Nisui. And while it might not sound awfully American by name, it's a company that's as red-blooded as a bald eagle flying with a cigar in its mouth. The headquarters for Nippon Suisan USA can be found in Redmond, Washington, and was established back in 1974 along with the company that carries the Nisui name. As to how this fishing business was able to make it to the 5th position on our list though, we have to look at the various brands that fall within the ambit of the Nisui Group companies in North America. This includes, but as usual is not limited to, Gorton's and F.W. Bryce, King and Prince Seafood, Unisea, and Glacier Fish Co. The corporation also has a pretty large international reach, with the Japan-based Nippon Suisan Kaisha owning around 61 subsidiaries and 44 associated companies within the fishing sector. Suffice to say, the Nisui name is a lot larger when it comes to the Japanese market, but this hasn't stopped the company from becoming a powerhouse in North America as well. In total, Nippon Suisan USA brought in sales reflecting around $903.2 million back in 2015, with this amount decreasing to approximately $791.9 million the following year. Despite this decrease in sales though, it retains its position on our list for still being one of the largest fishing businesses within the ambit of North America. Not at all surprising considering its vast Japanese connections. Number 6, last but not least, is StarKist, another tuna fishery that has made waves for itself. With its headquarters based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, StarKist has come to be known as the working man's choice, which has caused it to become one of the largest tuna fisheries in the world. The company produces a full retail line of canned and pouched products, and while it has made a name for itself on the tuna market, it has also become pretty popular for the distribution of external products, such as yellowfin, albacore, and skipjack tuna. Although it has retained its American roots, StarKist was unfortunately sold to a South Korean conglomerate known as Dongwon Industries back in 2008, and while Dongwon Industries had no tuna boats of its own, it was already in the process of running a production facility in American Samoa. Suffice to say, this helped take StarKist to the next level, resulting in the company meeting its 2016 target sales of $642 million. And there you have it. Everything you need to know about the top 6 fishing companies in the region of North America. Which businesses are you most familiar with, and have we missed out on your favorite? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below.